Welcome back to Stooge Stream. I am your host, the Stooge, and today we're going to look at 9 Sega Dreamcast hidden gems / games you should play. Now that doesn't mean they're all hidden gems. Some of them are just games you should play. Some of them are hidden gems. You decide yourself which ones are which. I do apologize. My table is dirty because I have been cleaning toys that have been in boxes for up to 5 years and all sorts of stuff because I'm going to the markets this weekend to sell for the first time. So yeah, sorry about that. But let's get on to the games. So clearly, this is just one you should play because it's not a hidden gem. It's Phantasy Star Online. I had so much fun with this game when it first came out, and believe it or not, I didn't actually play it online. I only played it single player, but I still loved it so much. This is what introduced me to the concept of MMOs, because I wasn't a PC player. So this is kind of the first MMO style game, and even in single player, it plays kind of like an MMO. So that's a definite. You should have that in your collection. Now I know Dreamcast games are expensive, and most of these I've had since they were new. And a lot of them, because the Dreamcast was just thrown out the door very, very quickly, I got like buy one, get two free, 70% off, and all this type of thing. And this was one that I just randomly purchased, and it was $15 brand new. And that's Australian. So that's very, very cheap. And it's a fantastic game. It's Bangai-O. So it is a shooter. See if we can get some screenshots on there for you. You can see it's a bullet hell shooter, but it's a little bit different to that. There's levels, there's things you've got to get through, but it's a bullet hell shooter. It's I don't know how to describe this game, but it is a lot of fun, and it's definitely something you should check out. And no, I don't cut in videos of the games because I don't make any money off YouTube, and I don't have the time to do that. But if you want to check them out, I definitely recommend going and checking out some gameplay footage of Bangai-O, because it is a fantastic game. Now, one that possibly has come out on the PlayStation later. I know the sequel did. I'm not sure if the first one did, but either way, I played this on the Dreamcast, and it is an amazing shoot 'em up. Giga Wing. Focus on the screenshots. So shoot 'em up glory. Giggle Wing is a fantastic shmup. If you're on a Dreamcast, this is definitely a game you should try and get your hands on. With Mill CD you've been able to burn Mill CDs and read them in the console, you can actually just make copies of these if you want to try them out. But, you know, get the originals if you can. Another one that is a sequel to a game that a lot of people know but don't realize this is a sequel. The game I'm talking about is Die Hard Arcade, and the sequel is Dynamite Cup. Third person brawler, lots of fun. The weapons in this are great. This introduced me to QuickTime events in the arcade. They weren't really common then, but this does have a few running down corridors, pressing a punch or kick or whatever the corresponding key is in time to take an action, and then it moves into another beat-em-up section. So much fun. Such a great game. You can get the Japanese versions for quite cheap. Dynamite Decker, I believe they're called. Next up, this is one that I got when video shops stopped carrying Dreamcast games, which was very, very quickly. So I ended up paying $5 for this from my local video shop. Virtua Fighter 3rd. Don't know why I didn't pick it up. I was more of a, so you can see it's got the Civic Video stickers all over it. I was more of a Street Fighter guy, but still, Virtua Fighter is a good series, and this is a great incarnation of it and a lot of fun. Definitely worth checking out. Of course, that's not a hidden gem. I'm not retarded, but it is a fun fighter. And I'm more looking at games that don't get spoken about as often on the system, whereas your Sonic Adventures, your Crazy Taxis, your Skies of Arcadia, everybody's heard of them, but these ones just don't get spoken about as much. And yeah, you've heard of Phantasy Star, you've heard of Virtua Fighter, you probably heard of Dynamite Cup and Giga Wing, but Bangai-O, that's a weird one. And that leads us to our next one, which is a fantastic Sega published game from AM2, their arcade division. So this is a real arcade style game. Outrigger. Now, here's one you may not have seen. It's a third-person shooter. Some parts you're kind of fixed where you are and you're just shooting and dodging, and some parts you're moving around. This is a great arcade-style game by Sega that nobody really talks about. Like, I mean, look at that cover. That's a fantastic cover. And check out the screenshots. That looks like the Sega arcade team at work, doesn't it? So much fun. Multiplayer. Everything you could want in a great arcade-style game. And Outrigger is one that's not too expensive because not a lot of people know about it. So it's definitely worth checking out. Next up, an RPG. Fantastic RPG, no less. And one that really is never spoken about and really should be a lot more. I had so much fun with this game. I put a ridiculous amount of hours into it. It is a dungeon crawl, turn for turn RPG style game, and that is Evolution, the World of Sacred Devices. So in this, you're going level for level down a dungeon, clearing out randomly generated maps, while fighting a whole lot of weird and wacky monsters. You've got some cool sidekicks. You're constantly getting new gear and upgrades. Everything you could want from an RPG. Very addictive game. It's not addicting, because that's not a word, but it is a very addictive game. Great game if you can get your hands on this. This is one of those ones that I got for like buy two, get one free early on in the Dreamcast life. I'm like, we'll give it a shot. And I put ridiculous amount of time into this game, and I've never finished it, so I'm going to have to go back and do that at some stage. And lastly, this was a series. The second one took me a long time to get a real copy of. The first one I've had since it first came out because I saw the company that published it. I'm like, they usually make decent games, so I will check them out. And I'm talking about the Tokyo Highway Challenge Series 1 and 2. You can get a version of this on PlayStation and possibly GameCube, I can't remember, called Tokyo Extreme Challenge. And there is a third one in the series that I believe may be on Xbox. Don't quote me on this. So basically, what you do is you race around highways in Tokyo, challenging cars, winning cars, beating clubs. It's an arcade-style racer, but it does have enough simulation in it to actually make it really decent. It's not just pure arcade-style. The publisher I was talking about, that you saw a second ago, was Crave Entertainment. So I saw Crave and a racer, and I'm like, it could be good. Let's check it out. And turns out I was entirely right. This is a fantastic series. If you're into racing games, or you like arcade-style racing games, I should say, this is definitely a series that you should be checking out. Tokyo Highway Challenge. And that is my 9 Dreamcast games that you should check out, that you should play, a couple of hidden gems, and a couple of rarities, and a couple of weird ones. So see what you like out of that. If you're a Dreamcast collector, again, out of all of these, the 2 I'm going to recommend the highest, and I know this is going to be weird, RPG, I'm going to go Evolution over Phantasy Star, even though that is amazing. And go Tokyo Highway Challenge, either one of them. So much fun, so many hours of entertainment. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below, what are your Dreamcast hidden gems? What are the quirky, weird games on the system that you really enjoyed, or the ones that you think don't get enough coverage, like Dynamite Cup, or Virtua Fighter 3. No one really talks about it, but it's a fantastic fighter. Let me know in the comments below. I have been your host, the Stooge. I'll be back with more soon. And in the meantime, don't forget, adventure, excitement. Stooge craves not these things. Welcome to the Stooge Revolution.